Warriors Unite! Back with another episode of Vigor Warriors 2 in the 1% Club. Hope you guys are doing well. Hope you guys are on your purpose. Hope you guys are continuing to conquest yourselves and others, other things around you. Because of that, remember, you have dominion over things. So, great to be with you guys. Thank you for the donations. Thank you for the comments. Thank you guys for the feedback. Once again, we're doing this to help people. I know there's people out there, I've seen it on some of the messages that, you know, nothing's happening. Don't give up. If you really believe in this, you will keep doing it. Sometimes it takes time, depending on how long you've been in this state of releasing and all this other kind of stuff, watching, you know, images and things like that. It's going to take some time. Let's do some shout outs before we get to our topic, which Doug J gave us. Retaining the C, thank you, my friend. Abstain-Joy, thank you. Keep evolving. Curlo Pedro, thank you, my friend. Morgan Boykin, thank you. Vel Plays 2.2. Skull and Bones. Sofia.fin, thank you. Antwan Mister, thank you. Oleg, as usual. Yexx, David Wall, Alvin Avance. Now it's Berakah, thank you, my friend. Capital T. Remington Tufflips, yeah, talking about yin yang. Yeah, I think we've talked about that. We'll go back to that. I like that topic. Bren123, Planet World, Ace, Lunny, Legokingiscool, thank you, my friend. Yexx, another one. El Dermio, unemployed, thank you. Neprijatnyjtip, yes, I probably got that wrong. Apologize for that. Roman by the Riverside, thank you. Everything Ocean. Unknown User, thank you, my friend. Gospel Ninja 2.0. Lykkos, El Duderino, again, unemployed. Throbbing, G, Gorge US, Sam, Jim Kofran again, Jon the Dawn twice, thank you, and Legokingiscool again. So I try to cover as many as I can cover within the 2-minute mark. We're at 2 minutes. Let's talk about our topic. Our topic for this one, thanks to Doug J, is how to keep women at a distance. Now, why is this important? Women are wonderful. We're not using these videos to kind of disparage women or say anything negative about women. Women are wonderful. A lot of great women in the world. There's a lot of wonderful women who are companions, who are great wives, great mothers. We're not talking about necessarily women. Now, there, of course, like there are men, there are women who are energy suckers. There's, you know, people who are zombies, vampire suckers. We talk about that. But the thing is that we've got to realize that there's attraction levels that we have for, if you're a man, for a woman, and if you're a woman, for men. And when you look at this, what this is doing is distracting you from the overall purpose. Now, unless you're going to procreate with someone, in my viewpoint at least, you should not be thinking of the other sex, other gender, okay? And this is not easy. This is monk mode. This is not easy. But what you're doing is you're basically concentrating on bettering yourself, getting closer to God spiritually. And as you do that, your thoughts of material things, including women or men, depending on who you are, and material things become less valuable or less wanted. And this is why Jesus always talks about take up your cross and follow me, or give all your things away and basically, you know, just follow me. Because what he's basically saying is that you don't need things of this world. This is what we're talking about here. As you become more spiritual, you become less and less needing of things around you. They're not that valuable. So probably someone comes to me a couple days ago and says, you know, what do you want for your birthday? I don't really need a heck of a lot anymore, because I feel very peaceful with all the stuff that we've been talking about, especially the foundation of retention and everything else is kind of built from that it's a whole different world for me. I don't really need a lot of those things. You know, I have hobbies and collections and things, which is nice, but they don't define me anymore. I don't need to have those things. God has given me a wonderful family. All those things, just like Job, if those were things taken away, I would still be peaceful and happy. Because what you're having is a relationship with your God. And that's what's most important. So let's get to the question here. How do you keep women at a distance? And what you really want to do is be polite. You want to be honorable. You want to have positive intentions, good moral values with women. But you don't want to have lustful thoughts. You don't want to have negative thoughts and looking at women as objects or anything other than just a human being. Now, of course, if you have one person you're with, you're going to look at that person with a more intimate type of an approach. But the bottom line still is you're not going to release unless you want to have children. This is a whole different mindset attitude that one has to have to succeed. This is why when I see videos that nothing has changed or this kind of stuff, part of it is that person is not in the mindset yet. And sometimes it takes a while because you're so used to being in another mindset, you have to realize this is a mindset, lifestyle change that's got to take place for you to succeed in what you're doing. So when we talk about this, what you really want to do is kind of keep women at a distance, which means obviously you don't want them coming closer because as they come closer, it becomes more tempting. So as time goes on, you come to appreciate the fact that you're not in lust anymore, that you don't need a woman around, that you basically have God and you have that relationship spiritually. You're moving from a physical, temporal type of thing, which you need, you know, satisfaction, pleasure from things. You're moving from that to something that's a lot more spiritual, that's internal within you and a relationship you had with God. It's a whole different mindset. It sounds strange to most people. It doesn't sound like it's a normal thing, which is not. That's why, you know, that's why the Bible, all religious text talks about the fact that we don't live in this world. We live in the spiritual world. Now, we're physically sitting here, but what we're doing is mentally, spiritually living in the other world. So it is not easy to do this. So the reason why I think Doug J brings it up, it is hard, but you've got to learn some techniques to be able to do this. First of all, now I also say if you're involved with somebody, whether it's a marriage or going out with somebody or dating somebody, something like that, it is a little easier from one sense, but it's a lot harder from another sense. Let's take the sense that you're involved with somebody. Because you're on retention, not only your girlfriend or your wife, but other women see this, and especially women who see this, who, you know, it's always a funny thing that once you start with somebody, then you become a lot more attractive person because people see you as someone who can have relationships and someone likes you. If another woman likes you, then all of a sudden you become a lot more attractive. Your esteem goes up in people's eyes. And all of a sudden now you become a different person to them. And now you become more attractive. And this is why you see a lot of, girlfriends kind of hitting on you, even though you're dating somebody, their own girlfriends are hitting on you because they see the attraction that you have because their friend talks about you all the time. They, say good things about you, and you're an attractive type of individual. And so now you become a lot more attractive. There's a good and downside of that. One's a good side is obviously it's a flattering, positive type of thing to have. The downside type of thing is this, you know semen retention is working when it happens, but the downside of that is you have a lot more temptation. Once again, you have to be strong in your temptation, avoiding it, basically saying, I'm with this girl, even if we have intercourse or whatever it might be, you're not releasing, but you're also just having that one person you're with. Obviously, the more people you're around, the higher temptation it is. So what happens is you have to put those situations aside and basically say, okay, I'm not going out to the bar tonight, or I'm not going to go to the party tonight, or I'm not going to be in those situations with a lot of women drinking and all kinds of stuff like that, and people can let their inhibitions down, and so all of a sudden now you're getting people who are actually coming after you or making, kind of flirtatious types of things, and now you're in a position where, you got to react to it. You want to avoid as many of those situations as you can. You want to be able to be focusing on your goals. Now, if you're not married or if you're not dating somebody, it is a lot harder because you're going to have a lot of women attracted to you. Whether they may just come right out and call you. They may come out and write and kind of talk with you. because they can't help the feeling they have. And the reason I say that is because this is subconscious. They feel the power in you. And this is why our society is falling apart in a lot of ways, because men are losing all their energy. Women don't feel this with most men. So you're lucky in a big sense, because you're going to have a lot of women who are attracted to you because they sense that you're 1% of the population now. But on the other hand, now it gives you a lot more temptation, and you've got to be even more careful to kind of go through the landmines of women. Because women will want your attention. They will want your help. They will want to depend on you. They will want your security. They will want a lot of your time. And because of that, it's easy as a male to get sucked in, because you're giving and you're giving, and men love doing that for women. And now all of a sudden you're in that situation where now you're attached. Whether you want it or not, you may have to be in a situation where that person actually wants to, get intimate. And now you're dealing with this whole idea of, how do I not release, or how do I avoid this situation? So get yourself busy in as many things as you can get paid. I can go back to the same old issues about retention and not releasing. Find your path. Do the things you've got to do. Get goals set up. Follow those goals. Meditate to God. Have goals in every area of your life. Whether it's financial goals you have, it could be intellectual goals like reading and getting information about certain things. Going ahead and doing some physical goals, whether it's working out, whether it's focusing on, your running, your walking, your swimming. I do a lot of both. I don't run too much because I have a lot of football injuries in my knees. So I do a lot of walking. I don't do a lot of running. But the bicycle riding, the swimming, I do a lot of all the time. And I love doing that kind of stuff. That kind of goal setting is important. Also spiritually, that's even more important. Make sure you're spiritual. I read the Bible every morning. I try to pick out passages. I try to look at what the meanings are. I also meditate on those in the morning and late at night. I try to focus on different sessions during the day if I can. Focusing on some spiritual goals you have as well. All these things do a number of different things for you. Keeping yourself busy, especially at the beginning of your situation with retention. It's easy to kind of say nothing's happening. It's easy to fall back all the time because your mindset is not one of forgetting about all this stuff in life. And that's what you got to do. You cannot be thinking about women. You cannot be thinking about drinking and can't be partying all the time. That's something in the past. My past, your past, whoever's past. What you've got to do is realize you have a new life. So when people say nothing's changed, they don't really fully understand what retention is and a lifestyle change. They think it's an elixir change of problem. Semen retention by itself is not going to help you anybody unless you transmute it, unless you turn it into things to do something with it. And complaining about it, getting upset with it, doesn't do any good at all. You're not going to see any results that you want. But if you fully believe in it and you start focusing on bettering yourself along with it, the retention, the keeping of energy makes you stronger, makes you more have more clarity, obviously gives you a lot more attraction, but it also gives you more energy. And the energy part of it can then allows you to accomplish a lot of things. If you mix that with, in my case, cold showers, good diet, good workout, trying to keep intellectually strong all the time, then you start feeling better. And I haven't felt this good in many, 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 many years. I don't know if ever anymore, going back to this. So this has changed my life around. This is 4 years almost. We're getting up to 1,500 days pretty soon. And we're talking about something where it has changed everything, the way I look at things. And so looking at this in this perspective, you are changing everything. So women to you are nothing more like your brother, your mother, sister, and daughter. Unless it's somebody you really want to have children with. But the lust part of this, lusting after women, looking at them and their body parts, all that kind of stuff, you have to move away from. Now, Is this easy? Of course not. This is why we do these channels. This is why we talked about this epidemic. This is an epidemic. With men looking at women from a sexual purpose only, it's an epidemic. Because really, they're human beings like we are, like everybody is. You have to but change your mindset. But it's hard with society, with the way everything is set up to profit off of this, to gain power, enslave people. They basically want you to start thinking about sex every minute. So you're buying this, you're trying to release here, release there. All of a sudden now you become powerless and weak. And now you're at the mercy of the 1%, 2% who don't do this kind of stuff, who use it for profit purposes. And so we become like the fiefdoms that we've had in history, where we become the people who are subjugated because we can't control ourselves. So the key is you have to learn how to control yourself. And women, it's a key. So you got to keep them at a distance to be able to focus on what you want to focus on. There's nothing wrong, even if you're married or anything else, of having female discussions with people, you know? I mean, maybe they want to be more than just an acquaintance, but that's going to be their issue. You have to sit down and say, I look at you as a nice human being. I look at you like my mother or my sister or my brother, my daughter, but that's all. Have a conversation, we'll move on. I don't look at you more than anything like that. Then as you do that, you're keeping them psychologically and even physically at a distance. Obviously, you know, they may come up and want to hug you and touch you. And some of that is permissible when you would do that with your mother and your daughter, those type of things as well. But again, realize that to women, touch is important. You don't want to get to the point where now you're misleading that person to something else. And nowadays, especially in the summertime, when you see a lot of attractive females out there because, you know, they're not wearing as much clothes on during the summertime, all of a sudden now you're seeing temptation. And you have to be very careful with that. And so this is why keeping busy, especially for those who've had a lot of years of the other thing like myself, you got to keep yourself busy on goals, keep yourself in motion all the time so you're not thinking about these things and refocusing on. All right, my friends. Well, enough of this. Thank you, Doug J, for the comment. I think you're absolutely right. You've got to keep women at a distance. You got to make sure that you're focusing only on the goals you have in life. Your goal is to have children with a young lady. That's great. That's the person you should be focusing on. All the other things should be things that you should be focusing on, your own goal setting, and doing it that way. All right, my friends. Well, enough for today. Hope you guys enjoyed this one. We'll talk again really soon. Always remember two things. First, every day is a new day to a great warrior. And number two, guys, we've got to continue to fight this devil. And so to do that, we have to continue to battle on! God bless you guys. Have a great day.